do you feel like your body still wants to outgrow the 212 like you did with the classic? Because I mean, the classic, your body clearly wanted to be heavier. Do you think? Do you feel the same with the 212 now? Because you're right on the limit now, and you're quite tall for a 212.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I definitely believe my body still wants to, grow and still put on some muscle that could potentially outgrow, the 212. But I feel like I still have, more time that I feel like I could still like put on, a little more muscle and still be able to make the 212 limit. I mean, that just probably means I'm just gonna have to just like die. I mean, I mean, I was dieting, very hard for these last two 212 shows, but I'm probably gonna have to diet just that much harder, even harder. You know what I mean? Like I'm just gonna really have to throw myself in the bowels of suffering to make the 12 limit. But if that's what I gotta do, that's what I gotta do. And I expressed that to Justin, and Justin knows that I'm willing to suffer. Like nobody's ever suffered before. As long as we, just come in there like, just nasty hard.
I mean, you're as thick as a Sean Clarida or any of those really, really, like the Angel Calderons, because at 5'8", most 5'8" guys they're not big enough to be competitive as a 212. But I think there's something to do with your muscle structure, your joints or whatever, that makes you literally are as dense and as thick as any other of the 212s, or as all of them.
Yeah, I mean, the muscle density, carries me over. I think another thing is that I think with a lot of tall, relatively taller guys, people might think, oh, if they have to suck down a 212, they'll end up like kind of stringy. But like, I'm a relatively wide guy, so I think also I think me being like so wide, kind of carries me over to be competitive with the 212 guys, because when you think about it, the 212 guys, since they're short, that's what they're wide. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm wide as well. I'm able to hang with them in that regard. And I was actually, that was one thing I was very pleased to actually see, because that was the whole thing. Like even before doing Tampa, it was like that question mark. How? I mean, I know I'm a very good competitor, but how am I going to look next to 212 guys? I mean, that was like that question mark. But I'm happy to see that, seeing that I was so good at Tampa, that was a relief. But then there was still a question mark. Okay, well, how am I going to look against the Olympia? I mean, the Olympia, the top Olympia guys, and to see that that I can still be competitive even there. It's like, okay, we can do this.
I mean, George, in your first year as a 212, you beat Derek Lunsford, you beat Angel Calderon, Ole Crivier. You beat some. I mean, you were third place in probably. I think that's the most stacked 212 lineup in terms of in depth, right up to the kind of like. I mean, John Jewett was 14th place. He was 4th place the year before, and he didn't look really any different. That it's so you must feel confident now going in as a 212.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely confident. And, what makes me, even more confident about it is, I mean, we were able to achieve that at not even being 100%. Yeah. So imagine what happens now if we are 100%. What happens?